At his annual football camp in his hometown of Burlington, Wisconsin, Tony Romo says that with the addition of Jimmy Graham, they are the team on top, the team you don't want to see in the playoffs. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Are the Packers the team to beat in the NFC?
I'm going to say yeah, only because I believe in Aaron Rodgers. I think that he's the real deal. I'm not sold on Jimmy Graham. I think Jimmy Graham is incredibly talented, but I never liked what I saw from him when he was in New Orleans going up against Seattle because the Legion of Boom softened him up and exposed him a little bit. Now, obviously, in Green Bay, that's a different animal because you got Aaron Rodgers throwing you the ball. And, again, I know that Jimmy Graham can ball, but football's a rough rider sport. You got to be one of the things that everybody loves about Gronkowski, even though he's been hurt, you got to try and take out his knees to stop this brother because he's a man-child, not just with catching the ball, but blocking, running dudes into the ground, beating up opposing safeties and all of this other stuff. This is what Gronkowski brings to the table. You've got defenders that got mad respect for him, not just because of his skills, but his toughness. In the case of Jimmy Graham, you respect his skills, not so much his toughness. But him, with his skill set, with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, which you expected to have some semblance of a running game, with Devontae Adams and the crew there. I don't like the fact that Jordy Nelson's gone, please don't get me wrong. But having spoken to Aaron Rodgers, knowing how hungry he is after what he went through last year, knowing that this offensive line has been addressed, that the secondary supposedly has been addressed, I'm looking at Green Bay and the greatness of Aaron Rodgers to come shining through. I think they will win the division. They'll have a tough time with Minnesota, but they will win the division. They will get one of the top 3 seeds, and obviously it's just a matter of whether or not they're going to have home field advantage for a divisional and an NFC championship playoff game. I think that's what it comes down to with Green Bay. But Aaron Rodgers, I believe in him that much.
If Tony Romo would have said NFC North, I'm with him. Even though Minnesota's a better overall team, even though Green Bay was the worst last season in terms of defensive efficiency, even though he doesn't really use his tight ends. And by the way, Jimmy Graham is sort of like, not the original, but in this wave of modern tight ends, he was the guy's like, he's really a wide receiver, not a tight end. You know, it's not a tight end the way we used to think of tight ends, but more the way we think of them now. But he hasn't been great in Seattle. I'm not saying Russell Wilson, as excellent as he is Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron Rodgers. No one is Aaron Rodgers that I've ever seen. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't really use his tight ends a lot. And he doesn't target them a lot. And neither does Green Bay offensively doesn't target their tight ends a lot. And Jimmy Graham wasn't targeted a lot anyway in Seattle. I mean, that was a bad trade for Seattle when you add it all up. They should have kept Max Unger instead of making that deal. That's when the offensive line fell apart. So if Romo wants to say, look, you really don't want to see Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers is that dude, I get it. If Romo wants to say, even though other teams are better, more well-rounded teams, Aaron Rodgers got him in the NFC North, I get it. And, in fact, he did say that's kind of a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. I get that, too. But they ain't the class of the NFC. That would be the Philadelphia Eagles, who return that core, who's young, ascending, and have Carson Wentz back healthy with Nick Foles backing him up. That's the team to beat.
Boy, I've been thinking about this. This is a tough one because, to me, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the National Football League. I love me some Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers is that deal. They've made strides. They brought in Mike Pettin, who, when I was with the New York Jets, he was the defensive coordinator, one of the best defensive coordinators in the National Football League. So that side of the ball is going to be better than what it's been the past few years.
Okay.
Jimmy Graham, to me, the Green Bay Packers haven't had a tight end in years. No one near the level of Jimmy Graham, the skills that he brings, especially in the red zone. Aaron Rodgers, before he got hurt last year, was leading the league in touchdown. He was on fire, okay? But with all that being said, can I really pick them over the Philadelphia Eagles? I'm telling you, this Rams team is going to be, they're going to be legit this year. After losing, you take your lumps, with these young teams, you take your lumps, again, you know, they took their lump against the Atlanta Falcons.
They picked up
they're going to be better.
Right. To put them next to the best of Aaron Rodgers.
Listen,
and Akeem Talib.
Listen, Wade Phillips, defensive mind. He's going to unleash those boys. They're going to be better. They're going to be a lot better this year.
Two best D tackles in the game, side by side.
Tom, let me throw a couple of things by y'all. These are just questions because I don't know. I want to hear what y'all have to say. Number one, Green Bay didn't just pick up Jimmy Graham. They picked up Mercedes Lewis. He's not a bad player. And Jacksonville last year, let's remember that. Backup tight end, this is what we're talking about here. So you got not one but two, because you could go to 2 tight end slot, which has obviously worked for Green Bay in the past along with various others. That's number one. Number two, when you bring up the Rams, here's my reservation. those personalities, I know that McVay is the real deal, young coach, player relations, all of that stuff matters. But those dudes in the locker room, the combination of that cat from Kansas City, along with Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, along with Aqib Talib, along with Ndamukong Suh, you know, things going right, they're going to flow. Things ain't going right, how that going to pan out? Then the Philadelphia Eagles. Have no doubt that the Philadelphia Eagles are talented, but I told y'all during the break, I don't give a damn how good teams look on paper. I don't give a damn how good they are, period. When the NFC East goes against each other, there's a lot that's taken out of you. And now you're the reigning defending Super Bowl champions with a target on your back. And Carson Wentz, yes, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz is a stud. He was your MVP after 13 games. But now that spotlight's on him, it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying Philadelphia Eagles going to be bad.
Hard to repeat.
I got questions.
Listen,
those are my questions.
I will tell you, as a person who's won a couple Super Bowls, exactly, a champion, I know that year after you won a Super Bowl,
right.
Every team plays you like it's their Super Bowl.
That's where I'm going.
You can watch them on film, and they look like garbage, and you think you're going to run through them. But, boy, you get out there and play them.
That's right.
And they playing you like you in the battlefield.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, Philadelphia on paper, boy, they got some bad boys. But they're going to find out it is not easy being a Super Bowl champion.
NFC East, Max,
I can tell you that
Super
right
Bowl
now.
champion.
This has nothing to do with anything other than you brought it up, and they signed Ndamukong Suh in L.A. And by the way, he's the second best defensive tackle in the game next to Aaron Donald.
No question.
I can't remember a time where the number 1 and 2 guys played side by side in a defense, which means if you play the Rams, the quarterback does not have a pocket. The opposing quarterback will never have a pocket. You cannot.
With Wade Phillips as your coordinator.